Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday morning on this beautiful Friday in November. I hope that you are enjoying this month of gratitude and that you aren't feeling too stressed yet, but we all know that it's coming. And so I hope that today I can just share some encouragement and inspiration for helping you to combat the stress that we face through the holiday season. So you may notice if you watch my videos often that I am in a different location today. I'm coming to you from my bedroom. So speaking of stress, I'm in my bedroom because we're going to have some guitar lessons going on this morning. We're supposed to be doing schoolwork outside my door. You know, if you hear the dog barking, if you hear guitar music, piano music, you just never know. I'm going to try to not get too stressed out by what I hear happening on the other side of this door. My husband is working from home now, so if there were to be some kind of catastrophe, hopefully he could handle it. And by catastrophe, I mean fighting children. Yes, my kids are 15, 14, and 12. We live in East Tennessee, and yes, teenagers still fight. Sorry to break it to you, those of you with smaller children. So if you are new to my page, I'm Candace. I live in East Tennessee with my husband and my 3 kids. As you heard me say, we homeschool, and coming to you today from my bedroom because my living area is in full use today. Good morning, Sherry. Is it Sherry? I think it's Sherry, like S-H-E-R-R-Y, but I want to make sure I'm saying that right. I'm so excited that you're here, and I'm glad that y'all can join me. So first, I want to show you a few of the fun prizes that I have for today. So I just posted a little giveaway thread or graphic to show you, but I'm going to show you what, yes, okay, you're right in the thick of it like I am. Yes, thank you, Sherry. All right, so the first thing I'm going to be giving away, thank you, Mary, I need that encouragement. Hi, Tanya. So the first thing I'm going to give away to one person who comments at least 5 times on 5 different threads through this class is this adorable coffee mug. I found this at Hobby Lobby and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get this. All Mama wants is a silent night. I thought this mug is perfect for this class, so I picked it up for one of you. I'll just draw a name from those of you that comment at least 5 times. Then I wasn't even looking for it, but I was at Walmart and I saw this little like kitchen towel that says the same thing. All Mama wants is a silent night. Is that not adorable? So I'm going to send this and a little Peace and Calming sample to another winner. Hi, Lisa. And then the last giveaway I'm going to have today is one of my favorite blends for stress. Let's see if we can get this lighting right. Kind of bright. Is a Stress Away roller bottle from Young Living. This is one of our favorite stress blends. Abby, I know. Abby's got a newborn, so she's not seeing many silent nights just yet. So one of you is going to get this. So those are the prizes we're going to have today. Now, grab your coffee, grab your hot tea, and we're going to talk about stress. So, hey Janine. First of all, I want to prepare you. I'm going to be giving you the bad news first. So just prepare yourself and try not to let yourself get too discouraged, because after the bad news, I have a lot of good news, okay? So I want you to hang on. This first video, we're going to talk about stress and what it does to our bodies physically. And as I was studying for this class, I just kept thinking to myself, oh my word, most of us have no clue what stress is actually doing to our bodies. And so I admit it's a tiny bit depressing, but I feel like it's important for us to know, because then we can be more intentional about finding ways to deal with the stress, right? So grab your hot tea, grab your coffee, grab whatever you need, and we're going to chat about stress. So I want you to tell me if you're already feeling stressed about the holidays yet. Anybody? Anybody? Thanksgiving is next week. Can you believe it? So let's just imagine for a minute the stressful situations we encounter. Maybe you are sitting in traffic and you're late and the interstate is backed up. You started at Halloween. I'm sorry, Mary. Maybe you're late for an important meeting. Maybe you're just even sitting in an important meeting. I mean, sometimes you can be sitting in this meeting where something big is going to be decided and you just start to feel a little panicky, right? Maybe you're in the waiting room and you're waiting for the surgeon to come out and give you news about your loved one. Maybe you're like me and I have vivid memories of, and this happened, so my youngest is 12. No stress here because you realize it's not that serious. Well, Lisa, we all need to adopt that attitude, don't we? Yes. And that's true. Part of it is just our mindset. We're going to talk about that a little later. For me, when I had 3 little ones, I had 3 babies in 3 years, and it was rough. But I have this vivid memory of driving to Walmart. I can still picture it in my minivan with my 3 babies in the middle of the day. I got the infant car seat and put it in the buggy, or cart, as some of you may say. I got, the 3-year-old and the 2-year-old, I got them into the cart, and I'm walking into Walmart, and I'm just barely walking into the door, and I just feel this anxiety, this stress, this panic, and I have to turn around and go back to my car and go home because I just cannot do it. And that did not happen to me daily. I struggled a lot with depression in those early months and even years, but the panicky feeling didn't happen every day, but when it did, it can be debilitating, y'all. And so I know many of you have felt that before and experienced that before. We can call it stress, we can call it anxiety, call it what you will, but it does affect our health, our emotions, it affects our sleep, it affects our mood, it affects our relationships. And for me, I would be very irritable and grumpy, and so it affects our families, it affects our lives. So I'm going to talk about what stress does in our bodies physically. Your hypothalamus, a tiny control tower in your brain, decides to send out this order. Send in the stress hormones. These stress hormones are the same ones that trigger your body's fight or flight response. Most of us have heard that, fight or flight response. Your heart starts racing, your breath quickens, your muscles tense. This response was designed by a loving father to prepare you for emergencies. So it's not like stress is all bad. It was created to help our bodies fight off an emergency or to deal with whatever's happening. But when that stress response keeps firing over and over and over again, day after day, in difficult seasons, during the middle of trials or holiday seasons, it does affect your health at a greater risk than just the one time, something happens, you're stressed out, and then you go back to a normal feeling or whatever. So when we experience that stress day after day, moment after moment, it impacts more than just our emotions, right? Stress is a natural physical and mental reaction to life experiences. Everyone experiences stress from time to time. Even good things cause us stress. Anything from our everyday responsibilities, work, family, to more serious life events, such as new diagnoses or, any kind of trial or disease or anything that we are facing. For immediate short-term situations, stress can actually be beneficial. It helps you cope with potentially serious situations. Your body responds to stress by releasing those hormones that increase your heart and breathing rates, and they ready your muscles to respond. But if your stress response does not stop firing and these stress levels stay elevated for longer than necessary to survive, it can take a toll on your health. So today what I'm going to be talking about is chronic stress. Okay, so the one time as you need it stress was created by God to help us cope. However, if we face that stress and we don't deal with it day after day, week after week, month after month, we are experiencing chronic stress, and that leads to a lot of health problems. So here are the different systems of our body that stress impacts: our central nervous system and the endocrine system. So your central nervous system is in charge of that fight or flight response that I talked about. And in your brain, that hypothalamus gets the ball rolling. It tells your adrenal glands to release those stress hormones called adrenaline and cortisol. These hormones are what rev up your heartbeat and send that blood rushing to the areas that need it most in an emergency, such as your muscles getting ready, your heart, other important organs. When that perceived fear is gone, then that part of your brain should tell all the systems to go back to normal. If the central nervous system fails to return to normal, or if that stressful situation doesn't go away, that response continues. Chronic stress is also a factor in behaviors such as overeating or not eating enough, alcohol, drug abuse, and social withdrawal. Okay, the second system of our body that stress impacts is respiratory and cardiovascular systems. So during our stressful response, that fight or flight response, you start breathing faster, right? How many of you have experienced this? In an effort to quickly distribute oxygen-rich blood to your body. So your body was made to do this. It's just that when we stay in this place, we start to experience problems. If you already have a breathing problem like asthma, stress can make it even harder to breathe, right? Under stress, your heart also pumps faster. Stress hormones cause your blood vessels to constrict and divert more oxygen to your muscles, so you'll have more strength to take whatever action you need to take in the stressful situation. But this also raises your blood pressure. So as a result, frequent or chronic stress will make your heart work too hard for too long. When your blood pressure rises and stays there, so does the risk for having a stroke or heart attack. So right there, y'all, I've only talked about two different areas or systems, really more than that, of our body. And that's pretty scary to me, that stress, chronic stress, when we stay in that place, it can impact all of our bodies, okay? So central nervous system, the endocrine system, the respiratory and cardiovascular system, and also the digestive system. How many of you have ever experienced an upset stomach when you're stressed or anxious? Maybe you're unable to eat, or maybe you go the other route and you stress eat. Under stress, your liver produces extra blood sugar or glucose to give you a boost of energy. If you're under chronic stress, your body may not be able to keep up with this extra glucose surge. Chronic stress may increase your risk of developing type 2 diabetes. I did not know that till I was researching for this class. Oh gosh, y'all. So, heart attack, stroke, type 2 diabetes. We've got to learn to deal with this better, y'all, don't we? Okay, so the central nervous system, your endocrine system, respiratory, cardiovascular, digestive, and also muscular system. So your muscles tense up, when you feel that panicky stuff. And they react to the stress in order to protect themselves from injury when you're stressed. So it's not that, it's not that it's a bad thing. That's the way your body was created by God to deal with stressful situations. It's just that when you stay there, that chronic stress is when it causes problems. Your muscles tend to release again once you relax. But if you're constantly under that stress, your muscles may not get the chance to relax. And so the tight muscles can cause headaches, back pain, shoulder pain, body aches, and over time, this can set off an unhealthy cycle because then you stop exercising, you don't feel well, your body hurts, and you may even have to choose or want to choose pain medication for all your body pains and aches. So all those different areas of our bodies are impacted. And lastly, the last system I want to talk about is your immune system. Most of us know that our immunity is down when we're really stressed out. Stress stimulates the immune system, which can be good. Again, this stimulation can help you avoid infections, and it helps our body heal wounds. Okay, again, we were created this way. But over time, stress hormones will weaken your immune system and reduce your body's response to foreign invaders. People under chronic stress are more susceptible to viral illnesses like the flu, the common cold, as well as other infections. Stress can also increase the time it takes you to recover from an illness or injury. So how many of you know people, or maybe it's yourself, who you just cannot stay well? And part of that is you're in a lot of stressful situations. Life is stressful. You're in the middle of a very stressful life situation, or maybe work is really stressful, and you just cannot stay well. You keep catching whatever illness is going around. Yes, Abby, hives. It is absolutely amazing how God created our bodies to work. However, He didn't create us to be under constant chronic stress. So all these things He created to be good and to work for our bodies and for the good of our health, when we stay in that place, it ends up being very damaging and causing all kinds of health problems, right? So stress symptoms can affect our health. They can affect our emotions, our mood, our families. And we may not, I think that really a lot of people don't realize that their sickness or their health problems could be caused or could be magnified or made even worse because of the chronic stress. You may think that it's just, oh, I'm just sick, or oh, this illness is to blame for that headache, or you may think, I caught this at school, and you may have caught something at school, but when your body has a hard time recovering and you keep getting sick and you keep getting headaches and you're under chronic stress, it's very, very likely that the stress is playing a big role in why you cannot get better. So stress can affect your body, your thoughts, your feelings, your behavior, your relationships. Being able to recognize common stress symptoms, though, can help you get a jump on managing them. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to share the bad news first, is because we need to know what we're up against, right? So in order to help ourselves and to do better and to be intentional, we need to know what we're fighting. So stress that's left unchecked, like we said, can lead to many health problems: high blood pressure, heart disease, heart attacks, obesity, type 2 diabetes, the muscle pain that will cause pain throughout your whole body. Chronic pain can be caused by chronic stress if we don't deal with it. Headaches, chest pain, fatigue, your stomach, your digestion, not eating or overeating. So it can affect our health for sure, our mood. How many of you are in a good mood when you feel really stressed out? Not me. So we feel anxious, we're restless. It can lead to a lack of motivation, which is what happened to me. When I had 3 little ones, I was very anxious and fearful and stressed. The anxiety and depression were through the roof, which led to no motivation, which led to, guilt. It's just a vicious cycle. Sadness, irritability. Anger, feeling overwhelmed. That was one of my biggest ones, was feeling overwhelmed. Then it affects our behavior. We overeat or we undereat. We have angry outbursts. We turn to drugs or alcohol, tobacco. We withdraw from relationships, and then we stop exercising. So all that motivation and all those things happening to our physical health, they affect our mood, they affect our behavior, they affect really every aspect of our lives. So that's the bad news. Now, from this point on, we're going to talk about the good news. We're going to talk about a lot of ways that we can combat this stress. And so first, I want you to hear me saying that I'm not talking about trying to rid your lives of the stress. This day and age, I just don't think it's possible to eliminate every single bit of stress in our lives. I'm married. You know, it's funny how we all experience so many of the same things, but we feel alone because the enemy doesn't want us to know that we all feel this way, you know? So from this point on, though, we're going to talk about good news. And a lot of these things I'm going to be sharing today may not be new things to you, but my hope today is to encourage and inspire you to start today so that you can have a happier, healthier holiday season. So I'm going to share some things that have worked for me. I want y'all to comment with things that help you. In the next few threads, we're going to start talking about specifics, and I'm going to hop back on in another video, and we're going to talk about things that we can implement today to start dealing with the stress. So we can learn to say no. I am the queen of people pleasing, and that leads to anxiety, y'all. So we can learn, yes, we need to say no. Yes, we need to not put 50 million things on our calendar in December. Okay, so that is one thing I want y'all to think about and pray about and ask God. You know, each time you need to make a decision about something that goes on your calendar, Lord, is this your best for my family? But don't think that just because you're learning to say no, like I'm trying to learn, that means that you're not going to have any stress, okay? So instead of trying to eliminate all the stress, which I feel like is a hopeless cause in 2017, instead of looking at that and having false expectations, which leads to stress, let's find ways, healthy ways to deal with it, okay? So that's what we're going to be talking about this morning. I hope that y'all will stick around, and I will be back in a few minutes.